Now that is a big problem. So guys, as you saw in that video, this was the Venezuela gang that I've been talking about for the last couple of months, and that was in Aurora, Colorado. Now, as you saw, they had weapons in hand, they knocked on the door, and they entered what looks like by force. Now, supposedly they did that throughout the entire building, and now it's caught on camera. What I found interesting is that there was a police sheriff or chief or whatever it was in Aurora stating that he didn't see them becoming or being a real threat or a big threat. Meanwhile, people who live in the area are videoing something completely different. Now that was caught on, I think, one of those doorbell cameras, but there were videos of people just walking about and garbage everywhere, trash all over the place, and them jacking people left and right. They were, if I'm not mistaken, they were in a parking lot and there was garbage or something from somebody's car sprawled out about. They are obviously a problem. Now, they took the building over like they did in that movie New Jack City. I wonder if they watched that, because it was sort of identical, just that one was in New York City and one was fictional and the other one is in real life, where they actually did it. So, of course now, the Aurora Police Department needs to do something. Now, a couple weeks ago, they did state, and I'm not sure if it was Aurora or Denver, stated that their hands were tied because there was nothing they can do. There's a lot you can do. There are so many things you can do, and it doesn't have to be within legal realms. I mean, at this point, guys, when it gets that bad, when they take over buildings by force, law has to go out of the window. The justice system has to go in the back seat. Matter of fact, put justice in the trunk. Because justice is blind. Put him in the trunk and leave him there. And let things unfold how they have to unfold. This gang only understands one response. Now, one response is violence. They're not going to sit there and leave because you ask them to leave. They're not going to stop because you arrest them one time. Now, maybe if you put them in jail for a long time, they might cut their shit. But then they're going to their friends in jail. So there's nothing that's really stopping them. There's no real repercussions for doing anything to them other than what needs to be done to them. Following the legal system only emboldens them, because they know that they're going to go to jail, they're going to get 3 hots and a cot, they're going to be taken care of by their other buddies. But if you start doing some hardcore shit to them, they're going to rethink their life choices, because they're no longer going to sit there and go, yo, we could do this and that, and even if I go to jail, it'll only land me in there for a couple months. With this liberal legal system, maybe I'll be in there for a couple days. Now, there are migrants here, or illegal immigrants here in New York City, committing crimes and getting out right after they do what they do. So in Colorado, I don't know how liberal the laws are out there, but according to that, it's got to be super liberal if these dudes are going home door to door and taking over buildings. Now, that building is undoubtedly going to become a drug den if the cops don't do anything about it. It's going to become a sex trafficking den, a drug den. It's going to be a lot of things. Now, the people of Aurora need to also step up. This doesn't land in the cops' lap 100%. The people of Aurora have to step up. The gangs, the black gangs, have to step up. They have to bring it to them. The neighborhood has to bring it to them as well. It can't just be, listen, when the neighborhood fights back, and has been seen in the 80s and the 90s when drugs were running rampant throughout certain neighborhoods in the United States, and neighborhoods got together and ran the drug dealers out. You have to do the same thing here, except for you have to do it a little more fast, and you have to be more violent. You can't sit there and go, please, man, well, we have a petition here that you can't beat. Nope, petition, no peaceful talks, no petitions. It has to go straight to 60 miles an hour. From 0 to 60 to get them out of there. You can't have it any other way. You can't sign petitions and have politicians step in. You can't keep calling the police department like, listen, man, they're... The neighborhood has to step in and become the enforcer. Has to become the punisher. Right? Kaiser Soze. However you want to look at it. That's what the neighborhood has to do. And they have to band together to do this. Because once you do this, you are entering a fight, guys, that is undoubtedly going to get out of control. But you have to know and be willing to sacrifice that to keep your neighborhood safe. Because if not, then just leave. But leaving is not the option, guys. Everybody keeps wanting, oh, you got to leave the liberal cities, leave this, leave that. If everybody keeps leaving these areas and we keep backing ourselves into other areas, we're going to be backed into a corner, and then we're going to have to fight. So why not fight now? Why not fight in Aurora, Colorado, instead of leaving? The only action, guys, is the fighting action. That's the only action that's left. Anything else, man, and you're undoubtedly going to have to handle it sooner or later. If I move to Tennessee or Idaho or West Virginia or Oklahoma, at some point you're still going to have to fight, because that disease, that infection, is going to spread. And when it's unchecked, it spreads uncontrollably, and it ends up at your fucking doorstep. Their sex trafficking industry is growing alarmingly fast, as more kids are going missing than ever. And I'm going to blame them and MS-13 for that. MS-13 hasn't grown as fast as these guys are growing. And MS-13 is not as bold as these guys. And I think they're trying to one-up MS-13. That's why they're becoming so violent and why they're moving so fast. But they have to be dealt with, guys, because as a prepper community, what are you going to do? You're going to leave? You're going to pack up all your shit and go? Or are you going to fucking hammer it out, get a couple buddies together, and do what needs to be done? Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.